So I'm down here on my D7E direct drive model I have. Haven't really fired this thing up in going on a year now. Just sitting here, kind of got tired of looking at it. Not gonna sell it or anything like that, but I decided, I was like, I ought to try and run this thing a little bit more. Just, if I ever find one that needs an engine, I'll do an engine swap or something like that. So anyways, I knew this machine sat for 10 or 15 years. The engine was locked up. It was number 4, the back cylinder there. The exhaust manifold has a hole in it. So anyways, I got it freed up and got it running. Runs good. No problems there. But it had water in the oil from, obviously the water sat and probably rusted the rings up, and it allowed it to pass some water into the oil pan. So today I'm going to, well, this will be a course of a few days after work, just as time allows, because this really isn't a pressing issue. But anyways, I'm going to service this thing. I'm going to change the engine oil filter, fuel filters, and this water separator right here, or the washout filter they call it. Gonna change them, clean them. I've got new filters, and I got a good screen I'm gonna put in it. I'm not gonna say it's a new one, but I got a good one. And also, it's kind of hard to get in and out of gear. The flywheel clutch, what you see there, kinda is down in there. It's where the torque converter would be mounted. It's got the gear shifter. The high and low lever is right, that one there, and that's your speed selector. It does have 5 speeds in forward. I think it's got 4 in reverse. And then that side over there is, some people call it a Johnson bar or whatever. Anyways, that's what engages the clutch. It's got water in the clutch as well, so I'm going to be changing that. Probably going to pull the belly pans off of it and just leave them off of it. They're kind of full of dirt. No sense in getting everything rusted up and everything. So anyways, I'm going to crawl under here. You can see I moved it. It's been sitting here for quite some time. This one is square drive on this one. I guess it's been replaced. My other one on my other 7 is a hex. So, oh well, that matter to me. I got both here. See how tight it's gonna be. Haven't been off. But I haven't been off in 20 years. Oh, that wasn't that tight. So I brought 2 5-gallon buckets with me. These things hold about 7, so obviously I'll put the plug back in it. You can, I'm sure here in just a minute, as I get the drain plug down, you'll see some water trickle out, maybe. Let's see if I'll set you up to see this. Yeah. Clean water. You can hear that. That's straight up water there. And that is sludge. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Probably should have got some gloves. Doesn't really stink terribly, somehow. And I think it was starting to slow down a little bit as I got the plug put back up in there, so we'll see. These things, I hate draining the oil on any of these compartments. They just come, I mean, it's all or nothing. Yeah, slow it down. So this thing's only supposed to hold about seven or so gallons, and I'm probably gonna let this drain for some time, and I'll go up top and change the engine oil filter. All right, so same spot as like a D8E. As you know, the engine's D8H, D7E, very similar. 4 cylinders different, or I'm sorry, 2 cylinders different, 2 cylinders shorter. Just takes a 3/4 and break the nut loose here. Always got to check for wasp. Not seeing any. As I say, normally they pop up, so pretty normal. It's got a 1R0721, which is what's going back in. And no telling how long the thing's been down in there. Got some little bit of condensation in here, I guess you could call it. Probably try to clean this out. There's a lot of junk in here. Not like just the sludge from when water sits in oil. Probably wouldn't hurt to flush the engine out.
The filter weighs a ton, like it's got moisture in it, which I know it does. This thing's hard as a dang rock. I'll never be able to get all that out. You just have to mix in, drain the water off the bottom. So, yeah.
Here's your genuine cat filter. If there was a date code, I would decipher it on this filter. Not seeing one though. Oh, yes I do. I'll have to look that up. Let's see the last time it was probably changed. So these right here, you typically, these things are hard to come out. A lot of people double gasket them. Aha. Thought I had it. Got it. Ouch. Now typically, you know, if this is something I used, made money with, and I knew I was going to run it a lot, which I don't know why I didn't do it. Probably didn't do it for a good reason, I don't know. Or maybe I just forgot about it. I've had these parts for a few months. So, I want to say on these, there is a seal up under this. It's a big black O-ring, I think. You pop this off, pull this out, and there's a spring up under here. I want to say there's an O-ring up under there. Anyways, I do not have it. So if you're changing your oil in yours, I'd recommend doing that. These filter bases get a lot of, I guess you could call it flack for leaking, but I'm here to tell you, yeah, they do leak. Only if you don't change the gaskets, because where I work at, I've been there for almost 10 years, and I worked on a 583H, which is a D8H pipe layer, and I serviced it in December of 21. And it came back in for steering clutches, and I did the clutches and noticed it was down on power a little bit, and got to looking, and it hadn't been serviced in 700 hours, and I was the last one to do it. And it has 2 of these oil filters on them. I resealed them like you're supposed to, and they hadn't leaked a drop in 700 hours. So it tells me it's not such a bad design after all, as long as, you know, you reseal them the way they need to be resealed. So that's that. There you go. The first things first, we're gonna turn off the fuel. All right, the fuel's off. Is it really off? I guess we'll find out. It looks like it is. It's supposed to have 1 copper washer. It's got 2. Fuel looks freaking disgusting. So does the filter. Oh, I can tell you, this thing wasn't doing anything. I don't have the piece. The bottom, well, the spring is completely collapsed. So I'll have to bring that back here. I didn't bring that with me. Oh, you know what? It does have a spring. They just had it in there backwards. I've seen this a bunch for some reason. I got a little algae in here. I will have to bring the spring back here. The spring it's broke. You can see it. It's all rusted up. Kind of typical, because it sits in the water. So, but you can see the amount of crap that's in here. And it's just, that's why they call it the washout filter. You wash it out with brake cleaner and starting fluid. Cleaned up pretty quick though, nothing to it. Like I say, I will have to get a washer though. So what happens when the washer is bad is hold on, let me get you a demonstration here. So when the spring is bad and the piece is flipped around backwards. So this is how it goes. This is your typical installation. The spring, then this. Then you have this, what they call the washout filter. It's just a little screen, a sediment screen before it goes into the primary filter, or secondary filter, I'm sorry. So your typical installation would be this, and then this sits on top of it, and when you stick this down in there, it'll be sitting up something about like that. That way this part makes somewhat of a seal on the bottom of the filter housing, and that way you don't get see, the reason why there's nothing in here is because this was sitting so far down. Everything big that was supposed to have been trapped in here is now going to be in the secondary filter, which the camera is sitting on. So I can't do anything with this today because I did not bring it back here with me. So what I'll probably do